Okay, that's what it should be.
There you go.
Is it working this time?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks so
Alright.
cute.
So we'll see it. Yay! See, it was a connection because the only thing I did was say bye-bye and then we came back. So, hola, hola. Hopefully everybody will come right back on. It is Aya. No, then it starts glitching out again. Yay! See, it was a connection because the only thing I did was say bye. We're still there though. I still see it. It's weird. Okay. So I'm just not going to look at that because it's throwing me off. No? See, do you guys see what I see?
Yeah, it keeps painting the screen.
Yeah.
What the fluck, Chuck? What the fluck is going on? Yeah, I'm getting pissed now. So yeah, greater of all it is and all the angels too come around us now. Yeah. I said protections of love and light and balanced energy and clarity and ease of connection of source. All of our tools and contrabulations work properly through and through, and that we have a wonderful live video of healing and messages and knowledge too. Highest light in only and highest light out only, and I remove all and everything of what doesn't belong. So be it, and so it now is. Thank you. I didn't fix it though, did it? See, it should be sharing my screen, which is this is what I see. So I don't, hang on. I see. Okay.
What if you just go to the Zoom? Can you just do the Zoom?
So that's, I totally clicked out of that screen. It shouldn't even be up there anymore. The thing is it's not showing my Zoom screen.
Well, you're on live, but you're not doing the Zoom. It shows the Zoom. It shows live and you're playing with your screen.
Yeah, I know. But on my screen, it's the Zoom screen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not showing it, and it should. I'm on.
Do you have two screens? Are you on two screens? Do you have two screens going?
No. I have all participants on there. No, I took it all off. The only thing that I see is the Zoom screen. That's what I'm telling you. I don't see my desktop. The Zoom screen is covering my desktop right now. And I have it on share screen, which it should be that. And I see me in the corner up there. So that's working, but I don't see you two. So hang on, it's pin. That didn't go to Jacinthe. Spotlight for everybody. I don't understand. Anybody have any suggestions? I mean, I'm not this dumb. I've gotten it to work before. Something's just not working right. You guys should be up there with me.
Jacinthe is up there right now.
Okay.
Hi.
Yay. So I don't know, you guys. What do you guys think about this?
Meeting setting.
How did we troubleshoot this yesterday on Facebook?
Yeah, but it was different.
Yeah.
It's different on YouTube though.
Okay, I did
That's
this
the thing.
before with what's his name when he.
Yeah, when you did the guy with cards.
Yeah. yeah, what's his name? And he, yeah. He made those cards because of healings I did for him or something like that. From what I see, you guys shouldn't be seeing my desktop. You should be seeing us. But it's not showing my Zoom, and I'm going live on YouTube from Zoom. So, and it says I'm screen sharing. And so obviously it has something to do with possibly the whole thing. I know you guys see my desktop and not everybody. Doesn't that suck? Like, what the hell? Wait, no. At least get you off my desktop. Okay. See my underwear drawer. Gee, what the hell? All right. I'm really kind of give mouse and keyboard control to Amy. There.
So
Let's see what you got, Amy.
don't. So on my screen, I see all three of us by hitting the plus sign on the plus sign on the people.
The plus sign
So-
with people.
So do you see when you see me and Jacinthe, do you see like a minus and a plus sign around our picture?
I have mute and then I have 3 dots. So no, I can't make you bigger. I have a screen where I can make it like 1 square, 2 squares are all of us. 1 is just Jacinthe, 2 is all 3 of us in a small little place, and then the other was big screen, and it should be showing that, but for some reason it's not.
So just put us
Showing on my
as three little people.
Did it work?
I don't know.
Well, I already went there and you didn't see you 3. You're not here. It's like not showing what my screen is showing. In front of the see, I'm clicking faces on there. There's a malfunction. I'm telling you. It should be it should be working. I know what I'm doing.
Oh well.
I'm still tech savvy. So all 3 of us should be up, but we're not.
Go to show more
Show more.
on the left. Oh, those are videos. No mind thing. You don't
Yeah,
want to do that.
that's look, boom. Yep, there's my desktop again. Now I'm naked. Okay, wait. Shh. I don't know.
Zip your lips.
Don't look. There's a delay. I don't know what's going on, y'all. They don't want us on. Something that doesn't want us on here. And it's not right.
So when you're on Zoom, go to the Zoom and see if you can get us to the 3 and see if that works.
I've been doing everything. I've been doing everything. I promise. I'm pretty tech savvy is the thing. I may seem like I'm not, but I pretty am. I've got breakout rooms, reactions, support, live stream, stop, copy streaming link, disable annotation for others, hide names of annotators, hide video panel. Now I hid the video panel. Now maybe we'll unhide video, show video panel. It should be showing video panel. On my end it is. Okay, see, you see what I'm saying? Then we have hide floating meeting controls, shared sound, optimize for video clip, and meeting info end to end. Or we have record on this computer and record on the cloud. Then we have apps, then we have annotate, pause, share. So I pause the share, resume the share. I did that too. Participants, more. Chat, add spotlight, replace spotlight, make post, rename, remove permission to multi-pin, put in waiting room, remove, stop video. So I'm looking at our I'm going through all of it. I don't want to see shit.
What are the participants?
Make host. I'm gonna make Jacinthe the host. And see what happens. So now I see her up in the top right corner.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Bye. No, I was kidding. Ask all to unmute. Make participants upon entry. No, never mind. Allow participants. Hide profile pictures. Lock the meeting. I'm
What
literally.
if you so on Zoom, there's a 3 thing, and can you split the screen so you can see, I don't know.
I've done that. I've done everything.
All right, well, we'll just do whatever. They don't need to see our faces.
Well, they can see your faces.
Are they here?
Gigi's here, Greg's here, and
I have an idea.
Ninka.
Second, I have an idea, and I'm gonna
Oh boy.
It's like, oh boy. She says, oh boy. Ha ha ha. You can see it now.
Yeah, but you can't see you.
Being a double and triple, I think.
No. Okay. Isn't that weird? See? I don't know why it's doing that. Can't see me, but that's okay. I can talk.
Well, we could just talk. You don't have to have us on there either.
Maybe talk.
I don't know what to do, guys. I really don't. I'm at a loss. Whoa, that's weird. Okay, that's not working.
All right, we could just go and do it that way. They saw who we are. They can watch the replay.
So people can hear us, right? When Amy and I are talking, they can hear us.
Yes,
Okay.
they can.
Well, that's the most important, isn't it?
I see Jacinthe in the corner with me. Okay. Where the heck is Amy? Do you not have, why are you broken, Amy? Where are you?
I'm right here.
You're not.
I'm right here.
I see you not. I see Jacinthe only in the corner. And so. I have an idea there. See if it switches to Amy. I tried to make you the host and you're not showing up. Amy's a ghost.
That's all right. You don't need to see me. I'm good. I'll just speak.
Oh, wait. No. See, all I see is Jacinthe. I don't know about you all.
It's fine.
Okay, but anyways, I'm going to try this. I'm Juniper Bloom Mystique, Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. And at least while Jacinthe starts, can you wave for me, Jacinthe, so I can make sure?
I'm waving. Can you see me?
No, we got to talk.
Hi. Hi. Welcome, everyone. Can you see me?
I see two of me. That's what I see. I see two of me. There you are. You wait. There's a delay, I think. Okay, so when you talk, it's good. There's a delay. Amy, do you have the thing up by any chance?
Do I have what thing up?
Can you like see my YouTube
I have. Well, I see two of you.
again? What about when Jacinthe
Yeah,
talks?
but it's a delay.
Yeah. Pin.
Oh, there he is.
Yay. Okay, so we got you up. Say hi, Amy. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Yay. Okay. Okay. Did I figure something out? Did I figure it out finally? Like 15 minutes into this damn video? Anyways, we got something working. I didn't want to be in the spotlight. I wanted them bright and center. I will get some technical issues done and figure something out. Ask somebody. I don't know who. Figure it out and we'll do it again another time. But for now, we're going to make this work. Okay. These are two amazing healers that you're about to meet, and I'm going to introduce to you. They graduated from my Alchemy Academy very, 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 very recently. And they have worked diligently, very hard. Now, they didn't only just do the academy with me. Keep that in mind. They've been doing all my workshops, all my everything, activated pyramids with me, and have quite stories to tell of their own along the whole ascension journey that I did. Okay, so they're quite familiar with me and my work, and I've kicked their ass over the last 2 years. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe a little. It's not a lie. The work we do is a little painful at times, right? And kind of mind-blowing all at the same time. But you are about to meet two healers that I would highly recommend, that I'm glad to put my name behind. They are two individual healers, but both came through the same space because I do individual teachings. And so they're quite different. You're about to see that. And they both have wonderful stories to tell. So I'm going to let them take the stage a little bit. Whoever wants to go first can tell me and give you a little insight into their story, who they are, where they come from, where they're going to. And then if you guys are willing to listen to what we have to say, they're willing to give you some messages and healing too, for free, a gift to you to say, yay, we did it, rock on, look at what we do. We are here for you. Did I miss anything? Am I good? Am I good? Are we good to go? Okay, so whoever wants to go first, go ahead and start giving a little, first introduce yourself, giving a little bit into why you're here, what we're doing today, and whatever part of your background, kind of like we did the other day on Facebook.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
A little delay,
All
so
right.
be patient with it. Keep talking.
All right. So my name is Amy Hutchinson. I come from the state of Maine. I started with Brianna when I was having a lot of anxiety attacks, and I was on 3 medications. I was waking up in the middle of the night and had like thinking I was having heart attacks. I was constantly going back and forth to doctors. One day I had like this major like heart pain, and I kept having them, and I finally went to the doctors and they told me that there was absolutely nothing wrong with my heart. And I was on, like I said, 3 medications, and I finally said the heck with it, enough's enough. My friend told me, you need to go and see Brianna. I went and saw her. She gave me a healing, and actually we went through a couple, 3 healings. She told me to go to the she told me to do the I can't even think of the word. Stepping stones to awakening. I went through and did that, worked on my shadow, got rid of some stuff, and started having migraines. Well, the migraines I didn't know that were part of the ascension, and it was part of releasing and downloading and all that stuff. Long story short, 3 years later, after doing all the workshops, helping activate pyramids, helping with the ascension and bringing down Christ light and everything, I am no longer on medication. It's been about 1.5 years, no medications. It's been about 8 to 10 months since I've had any Tylenol, Advil, any medication at all. I use natural remedies like ice and oils to get rid of things. And that's it. That's me in a nutshell.
All right. I'm trying to remember what yesterday I had such great questions.
I know you did.
I know, isn't it great? Give a little insight into your thoughts about why I talk so much about the difference between 3rd dimensional healing and 5th dimensional healing, and why I talk a lot about how if you focus on theta or anything that's by the book that comes from the denser energies, even Reiki, right? What's your experience with why and what I talk about and what I mean?
Okay, so 3D is basically doing stuff by the book, and 5D is going into yourself and doing it that way. So dropping into your heart space and doing it instead of getting into your head, and you go into your heart space. It's kind of like basically dropping in and listening to spirit, listening to what the spirit is telling you to do. And sometimes it took me a little bit of figuring out how, because I was thinking that it was going to be like somebody's voice or a certain person's voice to learn that stuff and who was talking to me, or like one of my spirit people are my father. Well, I was thinking that my father's voice was going to come into my head. No, it's not. He's an angel. He's part of it. It's not. My grandfather is another one. He comes in and talks. but it's my voice. It's not somebody else's voice. So a lot of times people think that they're going to hear somebody else's voice. You know, you can ask spirit to come into a different voice and tell them that, you know, James Earl Jones or something like that you want, but they're not going to. They're going to come in and, you know, you just got to think about, actually don't think, drop out of yourself, drop out of the thinking, get rid of the, you know, clear your mind, and whatever comes in is usually the spirits telling you exactly what you need to do. And
I like how you said that a lot. It's a really good point there.
it takes a little bit, but you're like, you know, is that my thoughts or is that spirit telling you what to do? And 9 times out of 10, it's spirit. So the other thing is that I had to learn how to channel write, which most people with my anxiety, when I was having my anxiety, I didn't realize. And you had told me to channel write. Well, channel writing is just, you know, basically writing down whatever's in your head. Sometimes it's you know, you can start out with your list of things that you have to do, like, oh, I got to get this at the store and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden it turns and it changes into a message from spirit or a message from whoever's trying to knock on your door in the middle of the night when you wake up. And so from 3D to 5D, it's basically getting out of your theta is like, you know, you got to do these steps and you got to go in order. And, you know, 5D, you can go any order because it's whatever spirit gives you and how they give it to you. When I do healings, it's, you know, most people that are 3D will go from top to bottom or whatever. But when I do healings, it's wherever is needed. I can go from yesterday I went to the root chakra, and then I went to the solar plexus, then I went to the head. I mean, so it's not like it's in a line or doing whatever. So it's whatever spirit's going to tell you, this is where I'm going.
Right.
And this is what you're going to do. So
when you weren't quite quote unquote awake yet, right? We all have an awakening story. When you were back in what they call the 3D world, before you knew you were a healer, right? Like what did you feel about meeting me and being able to express, you know, all of this? Like, do you want to speak to some of the judgment or anything like that you might have felt, if any at all?
So when I first started, I was like, okay, this is crazy. I pushed back and I didn't want to do, like you kept telling me, you got to do, you got to let things go. You got to let things go. And I'm like, I'm a French woman, and I am one of those ones that has to be in control. And that's part of my anxiety, is that I have to be in control of everything. And the second that I learned, or just said and surrendered and told and said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So, you know, Jesus, take the freaking wheel and go. And once I did that, I was, you know, channel writing one night, and Metatron came to me and he told me exactly who I was. And he told me that, he told me I was a high priestess. He told me that this is what you're going to do. And you're a healer. You can heal dark and light energy. And you just need to surrender and go. And patience is a virtue. And I'm not very patient. So I have to learn to do that, and I have to surrender.
I know I think that's something that we all have to do every day. I'm a seasoned one by this point, right? I had my awakening about 3 years ago now. I don't know, I'm getting lost in time, but I think I have to struggle to surrender every day too.
Yeah. But once I did surrender, you know, so I stopped having panic attacks. I stopped having migraines. I do get, every now and then I'll get a headache, but it's not half as bad as what it usually was. And I noticed that if I forget to surrender, or if I don't do the meditations, or if I don't do, like, I take a few days off or do whatever and not pay attention to what spirit's trying to tell me, the migraines will come back. So you just got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally actually have the same experience with that too. Very similar with migraines and stuff. I wanted you to speak back to a little bit how you said you found out you were a high priestess. I remember that was quite a bit ago. I think before you even joined the academy, right? But turns out it came into quite some significance on our journey, and I was hoping maybe you'd be willing to speak about it. You don't necessarily have to, but recently you had to help me a great deal. And the reason I want you to speak about this is because a lot of people don't get to experience what we did in the dark entities that you had to help me heal. And I know that it wasn't just you, right? We all participated, the angels, myself, and you, through those healings, but they were quite intense, and they were something that is not seen all the time. And so I was wondering if you'd be willing to share your experience along our ascension path journey with that.
Okay, so some people probably don't know what high priestess is. So high priestess is a person that can see both dark and light energy. And so you have the gods and the goddesses, and then you have the priestesses and the priests and the priestesses. So, so I'm right under you. And so our journey was that we were in class one day, and you were going through twin flame, and we were doing a healing, and we were learning to do my very first healing of trying to do anybody, right? So I went into your space, and
mind you, yes.
My first experience, yes, it was like, I was like, thanks, Bree. But my very first experience, I was like, I went into your throat space, and I felt like I was gonna vomit, and all I could see, I was being told that you had this dagger, which it wasn't a dagger, it was more like a knight's sword. It wasn't like a sword that you do fencing with. It was more like the knight's sword, the very thick, long sword, and it went right straight down into your throat, down into your solar plexus, down into your root. And it was horrible. I was like scared, scared to death.
It was very, very cool, by the way. This was
yeah. So there was a lot of darkness in there. And so you ended up coughing it out. I was helping you pull, get the angels were helping pull out the sword. And I was helping healing that. We saw, what I saw was like the Green Mile when the gentleman was in the, he was being healed, and he coughed up the moths and the cotton and whatever else came out of his mouth. That's what I saw when, after the sword came up, all of that came up, and you ended up coughing and puking and doing all that stuff, and it ended up, so it was pretty intense. But anyway, and then
it was bad. It was gross.
There's that. It was definitely disgusting. But they had the heart space. They had there was some repair that needed to be done there, and then we went into your solar plexus, and we found that it had been. There was another healing after that. I think that was the second healing. But we went into the solar plexus and found that there was a chip in it, but they didn't know where the chip was. And then the second healing that I did, we found it. It was in the root. I believe it was in the root or the sacral. No, it was in the sacral, and it was she had like this cement ball. I think it was like a cement ball.
Yeah.
And in that cement ball, there was the piece of the solar plexus. And so they had to chisel out, like I saw like a chisel, they were chiseling the cement ball, and inside they found the piece to the solar plexus. They went up and they brought that to her solar plexus, and we healed her solar plexus by putting the chip back in. And then they did some major work on that part.
It was so painful. Like I can't.
It was intense. It was definitely intense. It wasn't as bad as the first one, but it was amazing.
Oh my God, like, it was horrible. And then speak of the dark entity, like that is, everybody thinks the devil looks a specific
okay, so then
way,
we
right?
also saw, the dark entity was, so, oh, the
Good.
first healing, I forgot about that. So they ended up taking the sword that we had taken out, and she, so the dark entity was the person that's with her twin flame right now, and or was, I don't know if he is, no, she is, or whatever. Anyways, she had like wrapped herself around Brianna's ribs and was like, just, I don't even know, it was disgusting. But anyway, so they pulled her off, and they oh, I can see 3 of us now.
I fixed it.
So they ended up pulling her off and threw her down on the ground and took the sword and just stabbed her.
They did, yeah. So this thing, but it had like,
And then all of a sudden it had tentacles, and it was gross and whatever, and it was like it was very dark black. The only thing that I could think of is like, what is her name, Ursula on
yeah, but not as crazy.
Ursula on yeah, she was not as cute, but isn't it Ursula that's on Little Mermaid, the tentacle lady or whatever? I don't even know what she is, but anyway, so so that went away. She like, they threw away, and that went away. But then she also had some other things like little I don't even know what that, minions or whatever, black minion. They're not minions because they're cute, but she had some of that stuff that was in there. And then we got rid of that stuff. There was a lot of tar. I know that there's a lot of tar that they took out, like they were going to tar and feather her, but the spirit got to her before she was feathered. Mm-hmm. So it took a good 20 minutes to get that tar out, and we had to go into the second time.
Don't know what that means.
You still have it. Yeah, I don't know either. I think that's the darkness. It was definitely the darkness that was coming in, and it was trying to slowly kill you is what it was. And that, I think that once they filled you with it, that's what it was. I mean, you had cement in you. So so people are probably questioning, like, how do they get this stuff? To me, it's people that you're talking to. I mean, you don't know who you're talking to, and you don't know
exactly.
You don't know what they are in spirit. So you got to be careful. To me, I can look at a person and see that, maybe their eyes are dark and they have something either attached to them, or, they may be a good person to you, but they have something in them that needs to be healed.
Yeah, just act one way too doesn't mean that there's not layers, right? Everybody
right.
Takes years,
Character. So yeah, we had some really good, and then we probably could do another one too.
Yeah, probably. But I'm thinking, to clear some of that shit, because that was intense. It was very, 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 very.
It was bad, and I'm feeling like you have some more.
Everybody's like, quite the initiation.
Yeah, it was definitely my very first healing, and my very first healing was the sword and the whatever they called it, a dagger, but that was way longer than a dagger. A dagger to me is like a little knife. That was definitely a knight sword, and
darkness is real. Darkness can be very, very, very heavy, and it's something.
Yeah, and you don't know when it's coming.
No.
So
Yeah, mhm.
Definitely don't know when it's coming. So you got to be careful. And, you know, it was definitely a journey that I was scared to take, but I'm glad I did. And
Badass. I'm
it
telling
makes all the rest of the healing so much easier.
you, right? Like power to me. Like I just set you up for success no matter which way you go, because you just
Yeah.
experienced the worst of the worst from day one, right? So that's what's gonna bring me to Jacinthe a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Jacinthe. I love that we're all three here. Yeah, everybody say what up, what up, what up. Okay, sorry. I fixed it. It only took me freaking forever. Jacinthe, go ahead and introduce yourself. We're gonna just go back a little bit forth a little bit here, get on the ball and get everybody some healings, right? Because if y'all hang out and listen to what we said, they've got some gifts for you guys. So there are quite a few people here. I will go through the comments and we'll chat you up too. So go ahead, Jacinthe.
Okay. Well, my name is Jacinthe. I'm Canadian. I have come into an awakening. I would say it's coming on to 2 years now. So I connected with Brianna in August, coming into August 2 years ago. But I would say that my awakening was brought about through traumatic situation in my life from which I needed to heal. And initially, I thought that the healing would need to come from the medical field. So I searched out ways to get help that way. And pharmaceuticals were pushed upon me. And I went down that route for quite a while. And I also thought I needed to heal by getting counseling and therapy. And though the pharmaceuticals were helpful in the very beginning, and the counseling did open me up to new ways of thinking and seeing the world, they weren't enough. And so that's why I kept searching. I kept searching for something that would really get me back to who I truly was, because I really felt like I didn't connect with who I was and my purpose in life. And I basically felt very void. And a lot of people who go through a spiritual awakening will call this the dark night of the soul. And it is truly exactly what it is. You're trying to climb out of this density, and you're grasping at straws as to how you're going to do it. But you kind of feel like there's a part of you, a great part of you is dying, and something else is being birthed. And to me, that's what my spiritual awakening looked like. When I connected with Brianna was because I was looking for a different way to heal. The pharmaceuticals didn't work fully. The counseling and the therapy did not work fully. And so I was looking for another avenue. I did the stepping stones to awakening. I did private sessions with her. I did pretty much all of her workshops. And they were addictive because every single time I would release a lot of my shadow, and I would release a lot. And it came to be that I realized that as I would release a lot of these layers, a lot of my physical ailments would disappear. Now, I have been a lifelong sufferer of asthma, allergies, anxious behavior. And the more and more that I worked with Brianna on these healings and on this spiritual journey, the more I was able to release all of this. And I came to the realization that an ailment isn't just, yes, it's physical, you feel it in your body, but it has an original root elsewhere, and it's very much energetic. And this energy that I was carrying often had to do with trauma from a past life, trauma from a childhood situation, trauma from possibly ancestral things that were brought through the ancestral line. So when she was saying earlier, Brianna was saying that she helped us clear a lot of stuff, and sometimes it wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy. Sometimes you felt like you were dying, but see the light at the end of the tunnel, or at least you would make progress and feel so much better as you would drop these layers, and they are layers. So my journey took a good 2 years to be where I am at. And it's not that I set out to be a healer. It's not that I set out to be a psychic. It's not that I set out to do all these things. I just set out to better myself and feel better in my body. And so that whole process had to come through for me before I even considered the academy, before it was even like a thought in my mind.
Before even like the pyramid stuff was a thought in your mind, or because you guys experienced all that with me, right? Like I was going through that and you guys, we were all like, what just happened, and can you tell the story about when we even cleared Mount Shasta? Like what happened with you on that journey? That was back in 2020, if you can believe that. 11/11/2020, bitches, like excuse my language, but that's like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
how long ago?
So,
What happened?
So Brianna took us on a journey, a meditative journey, as she often does. And energetically, she brings in portals. She brings us to a specific space and we feel into these energies and she leads us through them. So this one time we were led to Mount Shasta. We never know what is coming. You don't even know what is coming. You just are led by spirit to go somewhere and do some sort of clearing, and whatever comes through, comes through. So this was the main purpose of this event. And apparently there had been a lot of people killed and a lot of violence, and there was a lot of bloodshed at Mount Shasta, a lot of bloodshed. And Brianna's purpose in this meditation was really to clear these souls. And that was your grand purpose. And so she felt it full on. She really felt everyone's energy, the torturing, the everything. And I think it took you quite a few weeks to even process all of these deaths that you had to release. So these were souls that were trapped, and she had to energetically release them to bring them to the light. And I believe it was part of that meditation. You also got veered to take us to Salem. And at that point, you were led to a church that's in Salem, and you were led to the basement, and you were led to underneath the church where many, many bodies had been disposed of. And I don't think that anyone necessarily knew of this. I think this was kind of a hidden sort of situation.
Yeah.
And when that happened, that's why when I truly felt like I was really coming into my own, because those energies, I could feel them. I could feel those souls. I was a participant in what she experienced at Mount Shasta, but I felt like I was an intricate part of what was going on when we were under that church and relieving those souls. And so that was, to me, it was a realization that, oh my gosh, maybe I'm more connected than I thought. Like maybe it's not just that I have an interest in this stuff. Maybe I have some sort of, at that point, I don't think I did. I thought I had a purpose, but I thought maybe I could have, I could aid in some way. I could help in some way. And we came away from the meditation, all was good. And as we often do after one of her workshops is we will debrief. We'll come away and we'll share our experiences and express to the others what we saw, what we felt. And it's always a good time to be able to, collaborate in what it is that you experienced and what moved through you, and it solidifies what everyone went through, and it makes it very real. Because when you're in that meditative state, you're not in your body, you're elsewhere. But then when you come back in group and you speak of these things, then you realize how very real it was. So at that point, we're just having discussions, and blurts out of my mouth, I need to return to Salem. There's many other souls there that need to be freed, and I must go there. And as I'm saying it, I'm thinking, who the heck is saying that? Why is that even coming out of my mouth? It made me feel so odd. And then everyone kind of had a good chuckle, and we all basically said, yeah, that'd be cool. Let's all go to Salem, let's go relieve some more souls. And we just thought, like, we wouldn't go energetically, we would go physically. We would probably meet up there and make it a girls' weekend or whatnot. And we had a good laugh about it. And it kind of was left at that. And again, this was in the fall of 2020. Now, present day.
Forward.
Yes. So about 2 months ago, I am in a healing with Brianna. And well, prior to that is
This was actually the academy. It was during the academy when we were doing a one-on-one session.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. So I was a student of hers in the academy, and we would normally meet once a week. And prior to our following meeting, I really had a night where I didn't sleep well. I didn't feel well. I could feel like there was a lot of anxiety. There's something wasn't right. So I'm messaging her at 3 a.m. saying, could we bring it forward? Would you be able to meet with me tomorrow? Like, so that we can go through whatever it is that's energetically bothering me. And I was thinking it's because I was reaching out to her for a healing, that there was a lot more stuff that needed to surface. And of course, she freed her schedule and she was available to me. And we went into session, and we were maybe an hour into session, and she had been working on me, and we had been doing all these things. And then came a switcheroo of roles where I was kind of envisioning that we were being led to go to say.
What happened was I started smelling myself burning. And I was
That's
like, fire.
right.
I was like, I'm afraid of fire. Why am I afraid of fire?
Yes.
I've never experienced a fire to make me afraid in this lifetime. And I was like, I smell myself burning. And I'm like, then the next thing I knew, boom, I'm like, we got to go to Salem. Are you ready? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, let's go to Salem. And that's what we did. I remember.
So energetically, we were led to go there. And so Brianna initiated the travel or whatnot. But when I was there, I could sense it. I could feel it. Everything she was describing it. I was in my body feeling absolutely everything. And what it was is, as souls, we were incarnated in 2 different bodies at that time. We lived through that period when it was the witch hunt. I myself was a young woman in my 20s. I was expecting a child, and I was deemed a witch, and I was hung, and then I was burnt. And Brianna and I apparently knew each other, and she was somewhat younger than me, and she was burnt at the stake. She was burnt alive. And so when she smelt her own skin burning, it was a reminiscence of the lifetime that she had when she was there. So obviously we came to realize that what I had said 2 years prior was in fact a contract that I was feeling that I needed to clear. So we were called to go there, and when we were there, I realized that when that happened to me, I vowed to God that I would return to this place, and that I would clear all of this negativity, all of this karma, all of this darkness, because I was just enraged that this could be happening. And so I stepped in and I vowed to God that I would return, and so that's how my contract in this lifetime came about, and how I was energetically drawn to go there. And we literally cleared a lot of souls. We released them to the light. We cleared a lot of dark entities and energies that were around Salem. It was very heavy and dark, and
there's a lot. And that dark energy with tentacles again, right out of the middle there, and like in town center. And then after that, a whole bunch of souls again went poof. And I was like, oh man, do I have to process those? So actually, I'm going to stop you just for a second and tell you that we just realized you had a contract with me, and you had a contract to go and clear Salem. This is why I talk about contracts a lot, you guys. And I get upset because people are all about, let's just clear contracts. We don't need them. How to break contract chains so they don't affect you in this lifetime. When during the ascension, she is giving you a prime example of you never know when or how they're going to come out. So if you're drawn to do a workshop, you never know what's going to come out for you. If you're drawn to do an academy, you never know what's going to come out for you, because that was during an academy one-on-one session. And we went to freaking Salem and cleared it. And I was so proud. Like, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So just so people can get a general idea of how past lives can affect you in this life, just that lifetime, for example, obviously I was burnt and I was hung for my beliefs or for who I was. And in this lifetime, I have had a fear of public speaking. I do not want to be seen. I'm a wallflower coming into my spirituality and having this spiritual awakening and then stepping into all of it and, being upfront in front of people and telling them what I do and who I am is very, very, very difficult for me because I have cleared lifetimes of times where I have been persecuted for speaking up and being who I am. So coming out of the spiritual closet for me is huge. And so graduating from this academy is huge. Being here today is huge. It's not just, being like, oh, I'm a little shy. It has layers and layers and layers upon why it is that I have kept silent. I've kept silent on these things and I've not wanted to move forward and truly feel into who I am, express who I am, and
not only did you clear Salem, there was something else that you had to do for the ascension too. So you had 2 contracts that were coming into, well, one I would say is more karma related. Do you want to, they kind of both are, but you want to elaborate on that other little tidbit if you are willing to? And then after that, show those certificates too, because you've been so pretty.
Yes. Okay. So
this is big.
So that second contract came about it was a second contract, but I had another contract that came through, and this came through in a personal healing session. So one that I'd purchased from Brianna, and we had like a 1-hour session, and we were led to a lifetime, well, many lifetimes really, but anyhow, I came to the realization that a being came into our presence, and through Brianna's description of it, we understood that this being was Vladimir, who was with us in energetic form, but he in fact was a man who existed on this life, in this life, on this earth plane, and his doings in his lifetime was, it took on a dark approach. So he was of the light, and he got persuaded by the darkness to go the darker route. And you can look him up historically, who Vladimir the Great is, but he basically is the one who brought darkness into Catholicism and the Catholic Church. And from that moment on, it became very, very dark. And Vladimir came to us in this healing, and he was wanting to be relieved of all of this, of his doings. And the reason why he came to me is because apparently, which I didn't know, I'm a direct descendant of his. So my contract in this lifetime was to clear Catholicism by absolving him of his wrongdoings in his lifetime and clearing all of that negativity, so that in future generations and generations to come, things are going to happen where Catholicism will no longer exist. And the dark hands of the darkness that are intertwined with anything that's religious, like a religious sect, will dissolve, because we've done it energetically. And when things are done energetically in the physical, it's not done in the same timeline, but it does follow through. And so that was my greatest purpose of all, was to clear my bloodline from the Catholicism, but it also was karmic, and it had energetic repercussions to the greater whole. So I don't know if I'm explaining that right, Brianna.
Yes, you are. You absolutely are. That's exactly, and it was part of the ascension. And so you guys were key components in a lot of ways. There's a lot of people, and I've mentioned before, that kind of didn't make those marks, right? Because they were too whatever. They were too afraid. They didn't understand it, right? We all jumped in feet first, like, I don't fucking get this. Blow my head off. This is confusing. Like, it was that intense, you guys. Like, it really was. It's not easy. And that's why I use those cuss words. It's for emphasis of the truth. Like, these ladies came through hard times to get to these truths and to get to these gifts that you're about to see, right? Because we're not going to talk too much longer, but I do want them to show their skills. But it's a really big deal. They met their marks. They listened to their faith. They listened to source, whatever you want to call it. They listened to the nudges. Their body's getting ill, right? That's another way that reason our bodies will get ill. Hey, you're not where you're supposed to be. You're not where you're supposed to be. Hey, you're not. You're going to get sick. It's like crash, because you're not listening, right? And so big reason why we get sick, because we're not listening to our bodies. And then once you do and you surrender, it's not easy. And then she went on that journey with me. And this isn't easy for her to talk about at all. It's a lot. But now you hear about the lightning strike of the Vatican. So how she said what we do energetically takes some time to come through, but it does. And now you're actually seeing the reminiscence of the work that we have done. And so if that one was done over periods of time, 2 years ago or whenever that one was done, because it was done some time ago, and it's now finally coming through. You can imagine for the last 3 years, y'all, I've been doing this work. Boom, 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 boom. And if you think for a second, it's not going to continue going boom back on the earth and boom back on your humanity, you're wrong. Okay. So your best bet is to listen to the insights of your body and to surrender to those fears and judgments of others. Because when big things like this come through and big work like I have done and these ladies have witnessed, we didn't expect it. We didn't ask for it. And if most of us can go back and not do this, I'm sure we probably would. I want a normal life. How about you all? I don't know about you, but me too. You know, like it's like shit, it all changed and we didn't have a choice. Okay. But we were willing to get on board. And they have amazing stories, and they both fought their way through that academy. And in the academy, they learned how to talk to spirit. They learned how to talk to their bodies. They learned how to muscle that spirit school. It's not an easy journey. And they learned through the master way, not through theta. I would show them things, theta. I showed you guys baseline how to do a relationship healing, did I not? I showed you guys baseline how to do a past life regression from third dimensional reality. How to do Reiki is very outside of what we've done, and I can't touch it. So I didn't show you shit about Reiki yet. It's somewhat similar to what I do, right? It's kind of discussed in theta and things like that as well. Throw all that shit away and you've got what we do. We surrender to source. In a reading, I don't have to go through those steps. I don't have to do anything. The next thing I know, I'm burning. Okay, so there's a difference between 3D to 5D, and you guys were actually taught into 5D. Okay, and you can vouch, I'm sure, for what I'm about to say is it's not easy.
Definitely not easy.
Not an easy journey, and they've earned those certificates. They've earned those one-on-one sessions with me, and they weren't all fun, right? There were times where we were like, wow, because it's hard. And there's way more than meets the eye. That's another thing, right? Spirit will say, do this. And we're like, nah, I think I know better. Like, I think I want to do this. I want to do that. And I did it on my twin flame journey. Oh, really?
Mhm.
You want me to stop smoking? But I don't see why. It's going into the future. Like, I'm arguing with God. Like, what? Like, don't do that, right?
I can say one thing for that on that. So you did a healing on me. It was something to do with my brainstem. It was on actually YouTube Live.
Oh, yeah.
And you had told me, do not go to work.
Oh, yeah.
Take the day off.
I remember that.
Yeah. So
I was adamant too. I was like, do not go to work.
yeah, do not go to work tomorrow. Make sure you take the day off. And I'm like, I can't take the day off. It's freaking Wednesday. I can't take a Wednesday off. I got to work, right?
Like I was in your brainstem, Amy. Like I was literally.
Yeah. Well, listen, so I went to work because I was a dumbass, and it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like feeling like I'm sweating. I'm like feeling like I'm going to freaking throw up. My boss comes by and she goes, Amy, what is the matter with you? And I'm like, she goes, you just turned, I was shaking. She goes, Amy, you just turned 50 shades of friggin' gray. Like the whole face drained. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. And I put my head down on the desk, and then I sat back up, and she goes, you just like, I felt like I was going to pass out. I didn't pass out, but she's like, you need to go home. I'm like, okay. So I went home, slept for 6 hours, got up, went to the bathroom, and slept the whole night again. And then went back to work Thursday. And they're like, what the hell happened to you? And I was like, I shouldn't have came to work. Shouldn't have came to work. I didn't listen to Spirit, and I didn't listen to Brianna when Brianna told me to not go, and I didn't listen. So shit's real.
It is very real, right? You're like, yeah, she's in my brainstem. It's just energetic, whatever that means. And then I like tell people that you can have these symptoms. Like when I go into your system, they literally have symptoms, and I've literally taken people
Yeah.
off their bed, and I see what causes Parkinson's. And so I thought when God told me, "Hey, you're here to change the world," I thought that was it. I'm like, okay, let's cure cancer. I see what causes autism. I do. That's not what I'm here to change. It's going to change anyways because I got you, right? Because I did all the rest of the stuff. And so it blew my mind, and I was like, wait, what just happened? Like, we just went to Fiji. Where the hell is Fiji? And then we learned about Fiji, and I'm like, you said they have 333 islands. And she's like, I remember Pamela's like, why are we going to Fiji? And I'm like, I don't know, they just told me we're going to Fiji. And we went to Fiji, and we activated a pyramid underwater there. That was the first one, and the God portal. And then our healing recently, we got
That's when Poseidon came to me. And I thought it was Zeus, but it was Poseidon, they kind of look similar. And I had told you afterwards, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Was it Fiji that we turned into the root chakra? Because I get confused because I've done so much work. Okay. So Lake Titicaca, I think, is absolutely where Atlantis is. That's what they showed me recently. And that's where my pyramid that I built that recently grew. Okay. Now, all right. So then the root chakra is now Fiji, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Welcome to your new earth. So when I tell you I cut off life support to California, I actually seen them do that. And I've seen several times different things I still can't shake, like the change in tides coming in through San Francisco. Still there. See it big time. Like that.
I've seen the tide. I saw the tide come in, and it was not San Francisco though. For me, it was not San Francisco. It was California coast, but it was like LA.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll take that.
LA went underwater, which, I mean, it's California, so hello. And there was a lot of the stars went away.
Yes, yeah. And so, when I tell you they cut off life support from California, I really mean it. I cleared out Mount Shasta, and then it is no longer the root chakra. And I'm still seeing people go there and praise it, yet it's starting to burn from the inside out. Like, I can tell you that because I can feel it. You don't activate pyramids and not feel the earth. So when I'm getting here like antsy, like I can feel Mount Shasta like heating up, like my ass is on fire. That's just something I just want to reiterate. You know what I'm saying? Because here, these ladies even witnessed me doing it, and they can vouch that the shit we didn't even know was coming. So it's very, very, very real. It just is. These guys didn't just do the academy. They went through, they have Christ light in them too, by the way. They did that one with me.
Oh, I felt that one come down too. That one was amazing. It was like this very, I don't even know, like warm but cold friggin' light that came down, and it was from top to bottom.
The angels had to help me in that one, because that's not how we were supposed to do it, y'all. The twin flames, my guy and I felt that light trying to come through me when he and I were supposed to unite. Then he started giving it away, and I was wailing in my apartment every night, like, oh, like it was hurting. I was dying. He was literally killing me. The angels had to intervene. I had a big old black mark on my leg, blood clot. Immediately, like that, black. I was scared. Pamela had to do it. This is like all happened. Like this was all, and I give this as an example because this was very real. There were actual things trying to freaking kill me this entire time. Like and these ladies got to help me heal that stuff. So, it's when I tell you this stuff is real, there's so much pieces to it too. Like we could sit here and talk
forever.
Yeah, we really should. But I'm going to kind of put the kibosh on that. Is there anything you guys want to talk about the academy and show your certificates? And then we'll go ahead and get into some healing and messages.
Sorry, go ahead, Amy.
So the Alchemy Academy, I learned a lot from doing the academy, but so we learned a lot on how to do it, but we also healed a lot doing it. And we might have we healed ourselves, but we also healed Brianna through her twin flame, and healed the planet and the world. I mean, people that are here that don't really even know.
Honestly, that's
what
how
we actually did.
In the one-on-ones, I had you guys healing me and doing healings with you, and that's kind of how.
So people are probably like, yeah, okay, she's probably whatever. She's just she is a real person. She is true to what she's saying. It's not. I was feeling the stuff that she was going through. So I mean, It's not like she's bullshitting you on what she's feeling and what she's doing and what she's seeing. No, she's not. So if anybody wants to do the academy, I highly recommend it.
It will change your life. Warning.
Yes, it
Let's put it
definitely will.
because it's not something you can go into and come out the same person.
No.
Jacinthe looks like totally like mad at me right now. Like she's just like,
Not mad. I'm just thinking, I guess I'm thinking out loud that we're trying to sell this academy thing, but I feel like the academy is not for everyone. I mean, there's academies out there, and if you feel drawn to learn about these things, by all means do. But much like I had said, I had to work on myself for a very, very, very long time and remove all of these shadows and layers before I was able to come into my own and have enough openness to even consider the academy. So when we're talking about this academy, it's not just any Joe Blow off the street. Okay, like join this 6-month academy with Brianna and you're going to become a healer. Like it's not a one and done. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work, and you have to be true to let it come through whichever way it needs to come through. And so you will cry your ass off. You will get mad. You will go through a lot of emotions, and
you'll want to quit.
Yeah, you'll want to quit. And maybe you even did quit, and then you talked yourself into going back. But if you're being called to do it, it's because there's a reason behind it. And much like I said, purpose. I didn't sought this out. I didn't say this is what I want to do for a living. Not at all. But everything that I came to learn about myself would open me up to something new, to the point where I couldn't deny it anymore. And it was stronger than me that I had to sign up for it. And I think Amy began before I did, because I reached out to her. She was a couple of weeks in ahead of me, and I reached out to her privately and I said, would you mind giving me a little bit of an idea of what this is all about and how you're experiencing it? And she really sold me on it. She didn't really have to sell me on it because I was already there. I kind of just needed that last nudge because, it isn't free. It's an investment. It's a financial investment, but quite honestly, it is the best financial investment I've ever put into myself and into my future. I mean, I've done post-secondary studies that, it got me a job. It got me a lifestyle. But the type of work that I do now, because of what I've learned in the academy, is so much more than a paycheck. It's bringing light, it's bringing light into people's lives, and it's changing things. And I feel so blessed to have had the opportunity to learn this and to connect with it. And every single healing that I'm led to do, I don't take it for granted. I'm just so very grateful that I'm being led there and that I can help. And so when Brianna's talking about her academy, I mean, yes, it's all wonderful and it's beautiful, but I would say that it's not for everyone. And you need to put in the work. You need to put in the work, and you need to be 110% on board. And there will be times where you will doubt yourself, and there will be times where you might decide to throw in the towel. But if you're in your right place, and I just saw an orb where Amy was behind you. So spirit will lead you where you need to go. And much like we mentioned, there's many academies out there. You can learn certain things textbook wise, but the academy that we just came out of is very personalized to what it is that you need to become the healer that you are meant to be in the fifth dimensional world. There are certain steps that she's taken us through, but a lot of it is really teaching us how to trust your intuition, how to feel into what it is that energy is, and tuning into that. And I honestly don't think that there's any other spiritual academy out there that can say that that's what they do. So I fully support and endorse, and am very pleased to have my name attached to this academy. And I know you mentioned we should show our certificates, and I'm sorry to say I've misplaced mine.
Put it on your phone. Right there.
Oh, shoot.
For that speech. Jeez, man, I'm all emotional over here. Beautiful.
And I second that, whatever she just said. So it's definitely,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Amy.
no, it's one of the best investments that I did. It's one of the, oftentimes people don't invest in themselves, invest in what, but it was either, for me, it was either do this or be in the hospital for the rest of my life, be a wacko, and I didn't want to do that. So it's one of the best investments that I've ever done.
And honestly, it's one of the best investments I've ever had. It really truly is. We've experienced a lot of these things together out of the blue, right? You guys were the first ones who got to experience this academy, and probably one of the ones I will put my all, like, you got everything I have, like, you really truly, it was no holds bar. And I just can't wait to see you guys use that. And we're about to see some of their gifts. So if you guys actually want healing or messages, you can start commenting on that. Say me, ask what you want, healing or message. And I will let them know who asks. I'll give them a name and they can see who they want to work with here in a minute. So if you guys want to start commenting on that, go ahead and do so. There's just a certificate. Whoop, whoop. I love it. They're so pretty. They're actually better than I thought.
They're so pretty. They're so cute.
But they've worked really hard, and it wasn't just me challenging them. It was a challenge for myself too, and we've grown together. But that's what it's about. It's not like they come to my academy and you read a book, or you like it's this, it's that, and the other. Spirit school is very real, and that's who I am. Like, you can't come to me and expect small potatoes. Like, I think we've experienced a lot of this by now, right? And so you're going to kind of experience that with them too. They're very powerful healers. I didn't teach them to be like anybody else except for who they are in 5D. Okay. And so I can't wait. Donita would love a message. I got that so far. So that's awesome. So somebody can tune into her. I believe that's Donita. Yeah, this is Donita. Laugh out loud. Would love a message. So we've got one so far. We'll give it a minute and let others comment. But I like how they talked about, it's a commitment. It's like you don't sign up for something that's expensive and expect it to be easy, right? Like, what would that be? Okay. And so you guys signed that contract from day one. You signed a contract to be committed to yourself and to grow. And you surely did, and I'm very, very, very proud of these ladies, and I will endorse them. I will recommend them. They will be pretty much the only ones I'd be willing to work with at this point as well, because I just learned through this that I won't work with anybody that's not through that academy. There's a reason for that, because I teach them light and dark. They've experienced light and dark. They know what it's like to carry God's light, and they know what it's like to trust and to surrender. And it's a challenge, just as you've heard. So congratulate them, love them just as much as I do. Okay. REU says, congratulations on your certification, ladies. You earned it. So again, Donita wants a message. Gigi wants a message, please. So we got 2 going out so far. So whoever wants to do them. And also REU would love a message. So the order is Donita, Gigi, and REU.
All right. So what I got for Donita was Malachi came and said, step into the light. Don't be of fear, for that will hold you back. Allow the light to flow through you and allow yourself to surrender. So do that.
Did you hear that? Was that Donita? Donita, did you hear that?
Yeah, that was Donita from Malachi. Did you hear? Was I too low?
No, I'm hoping
Okay.
she just seeing for a comment. Sherry Johnson says, I recommend them as well. They are both amazing. Yes, they are.
Thank you, Sherry.
You guys remember?
I didn't realize that Amy was tuning in to Donita's
You can tune in too.
You guys-
I have, but through the means of a card. So I'm doing oracle cards, and this is the one that came through. And it is vulnerability. And if you can see, there's like a little, I don't think it's an angel, but a child in a little, I think it's a leaf on the water. And obviously, when you see that, you think of innocence and vulnerability. And what I feel when I tune into this is that it's time for her to open herself up to the vulnerabilities that are in her life, because it's through those vulnerabilities that she will get to break through. When she faces those fears and she is true to them, she will be able to attain the greatness that is in store for her.
That's a beautiful message. Did you hear that, Donita? You got 2 messages, and I think they're both spot on completely. So I hope you got that one too, that vulnerability. I like the leaf on the water. The leaf is so thin, you think it's going to crumble, right? It's not going to be able to hold this water. So you must surrender. You must surrender.
And I will say that surrendering is a daily thing. I know we're graduates of this academy, but I think Amy touched on this, is you have to have the willingness to continue to do it. Just because we're now graduates doesn't mean that we know it all now and we're like full of Christ light and we're able to do it all. It is a daily practice, a daily spiritual practice that you must bring forward and choose to bring forward and connect to. And sometimes it is still damn hard. It is.
Mhm.
It's not easy to say that I am just putting all my trust in source. I'm putting all my trust out there. I'm surrendering. And it's a commitment, and it's something that you must always return to, because if you don't, it'll bite you in the butt. If you are meant to have this purpose in your life and you're not listening to it, things just won't go right in your life. And I say that by experience. I'm not going to go into a big spiel about, personal experience with it, but I've lived through a few things that have made me realize that when I veer away from it, I'm not aligned, I'm not connected, and nothing is going right for me.
Mhm.
We
I
know
agree.
that is my twin flame is causing tower moments, and they're affecting me. And I'm not doing it. I'm like,
And they
"Ah,
affect me too. They affect me too. So I don't know if it's that. That's the other thing is I have a question about, is that are you and I still connected, even though we're still, I kind of like tell spirit to disconnect us to whatever, right? You and I.
Christ light in you.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah. So that's part of it. So when
Today too, because of my heartache, my heartbreak I woke up with, and you guys were both like, I'm feeling heavy today, like we can't do this. And I was thinking they're feeling my energy.
yeah,
But you guys carry the Christ light.
that's right. Yeah. Okay. I understood. Because Amy D, she's not on today, but she had told me that she was feeling very, very weird all week long. And I'm like, okay, well, you got the Christ light. Brianna's going through the stuff. So, okay. So that makes sense. Okay. She asked me, she's like, well, why? Because remember I told you we were going through the rabbit hole, and then all of a sudden we went through the rabbit hole. And I'm like, okay, so maybe, she goes, well, maybe you can ask to be disconnected. And I'm like, well, no. Well, yes, maybe, but it's still not going to help, because now it makes sense that we have the Christ light. Okay.
The truth about that is my divine masculine is affecting the whole entire world. It's not just me that
Right.
he's actually hurting everybody. So no matter who you are, whether you carry Christ light, you're going to feel it.
The
Unfortunately.
problem is that am I going to feel, I don't ask to be connected to him. You know how whatever.
Yeah,
And I can see the darkness. And that's the problem, is that I feel like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I would say
do you
just
understand? I feel like some of it, sometimes it's the darkness coming back into me and then whatever. So I'm like, get away from me.
part of that too is that once we unite, they can't do that anymore. Okay, but right now he's giving them access to the whole entire population. And how does darkness get in? Like, it's into our thoughts, it gets into our energy, it makes us ill.
Yeah.
Me personally, he's actually killing me even by that separation. It's true. The shit's crazy. I don't like it. I wish I can go back in time sometimes. And I'm wondering, would I sign that contract knowing what I know now?
I just question because you know the soulmate thing that we go through and whatever, and I don't know if I don't think he's part of that, the darkness. I don't think that absolutely not. Maybe his.
It's attacking him constantly, and that's the thing is it's like a bit of battle of his soul and of a lifetime, really and truly, honestly. And the thing is when you're used to that, you can see the difference. You can feel the difference between the dark and the light. When I'm in the light, I'm like, this is my home. I'm you know, it feels good. And but what I would say for you is because you are a high priestess, so you're going to always have the accessibility to that. And so when you don't have your boundaries set, right, and you're doing the shadow work course with me in a couple days, I think that will absolutely help because it's going to strengthen your boundaries. Okay, you're going to be able to really get that power and be able to really eliminate that shadow within yourself. Because once you have your shadow within yourself, the darkness of the collective whole can really fuck with you. So if you have addictions, guess where it goes to? You want it, and it's constant, right? If you have fears, guess where it goes to? You can't do it. You suck. You fail. You're a loser. Get the fuck off. Right when I was about to free Jesus's soul, I was with Sean, right? This was 1 year ago on my birthday. We were in Cripple Creek the weekend after. And we got lost. And he's like, we're going to have a ghost adventure because he loves being around me, right? Because it's always weird shit. And I'm like, okay, we'll have a ghost adventure. Turns out we did. We got lost in a stupid stairwell. I didn't know Jesus was coming, though. I didn't know we were going to do that. I had no idea, right? And there was a black tentacle thing at the bottom of the stairwell. And I'm like, run. And he's like, what? And I'm like, dude, there's like something right there. We bolted up the stairs. Like I've never ran so fast in my life. I ran up 3 flights of stairs. This was right after my heart was enlarged from the pyramids. And I'm like, well, I guess my healing worked because I made it through. I'm like, holy shit. But we got back to the hotel room, which was a separate building. And in the bathroom, all of a sudden, and I was in a high vibe, right? Like I'm having fun. Like it was a great time. High vibe. I was connecting, doing all the pyramids and stuff. All of a sudden it got in my head and it was like, you suck. Turn your channel off. You're a fucking idiot. Like it was this was in my head. Like get it. And it was like, I could feel it. My solar plexus starting to take over. And I was like, that's not me. I questioned it. I'm like, that's not me. How could I just all of a sudden go boom, like so happy about to take a freaking bath over here, enjoying my space. And then all of a sudden I'm an idiot. Like, wait, what? I'm crazy. You're crazy.
He doesn't love you. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't love you. Oh yeah, those kinds of things. And then I was almost stopped from doing it. So if I would have let that take over, I probably wouldn't have freed Jesus's soul. So also when big things are coming, they're really attacking right now. This is why I talk about this all the time. I'm like, don't follow the false light, right? Like you've really got to pay attention to our thoughts. You've got to take control of those because that's what darkness does. And if you have any part of your shadow remaining within your system, this is something I've learned because Spirit taught me the Master's way, how to heal the shadow. That's why we're doing the course in a couple days, okay? So that's a key. You guys, if you have any part of your shadow remaining within your system, darkness can get in and it will manipulate the crap out of you. It tears you down to the depths of your soul. All right. And so I think that had to come out. People needed to hear it. So see, that's what I'm saying, Donnie. It's like, I've been feeling not so great lately also. Is that why? Probably if you've got shadow remaining in you, you're being affected. Like it's like a ping pong table. Like one day I'm up and then you should see my energy. It's not so good. If my twin flame knew truly how much he was hurting people just by being separated from me, like even after knowing his truths, why did I get those downloads? I don't know. It scares the shit out of me. Like if he doesn't come, I can't lie. I'm scared. I'm scared for the collective whole and I'm scared for myself. And Spirit's like, not fear. And I'm like, I know, but I still have no answers here. So I don't know what it means. Okay. I'm just being honest. Right. So I would do your due diligence, take care of that shadow. That's why we're doing it in a couple days in that workshop. Okay. Not just for us, for the collective whole. It's a big deal. All right. I've been working on it for this whole entire year. So this is a big one. Like this is the final boom, right, of the shadow. Okay. So I'm really happy about that. But I would make sure you're watching your system, watching your thoughts, watching the food you eat. I talk about this all the time. Okay, so let's get back to these messages. We had Gigi next. Gigi wants a message, and then we had REU after that. Sorry, guys. These are all learning things. This is a lot of good information, actually, that you're getting for free. So just hang in with us is quite Good. So whoever wants to give a message to Gigi, or both of you, I kind of like that too, if you want.
Yeah, I can do. I have one for Gigi. I was doing one while she was doing the other thing, but so Gigi, you they say to bring forth the light. I channel read it. Hang on. Bring forth the light of the one, and shine it bright for you. I can't read my writing. Have the gift. When you, it's awful, but anyway. For you have the gifts. Breathe into what you're feeling and allow the light to flow. Allow the heaviness to move through your body, drop into your heart, and it shall guide the way. That's it.
I love that. So
I can't help but, I'm sorry, I can't help but think that the message that I gave yesterday for the collective was pretty much that, the message that I
Yeah.
received. It's
Yeah.
just interesting how spirit speaks, and then it speaks
Because
even loudly.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, because Donita was in the Christ light too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But this is Gigi.
Donita.
This is Gigi.
Oh, Gigi was in there too, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gigi, hello. Knock knock.
Yeah, you guys are
Hello.
those Christ-like workers. You told God that you were going to work for him. So you gotta
Hello, Gigi. Is this thing on?
no, we need your help. Shine your lights.
So I pulled a card for Gigi at this point, and this one came through, and it is called Adventure. I'm just feeling into it.
Gigi says thank you, Amy.
I'm getting a sense that this card is telling me that you need to take a bit of a break, step back, go somewhere to be like either on holiday, on vacation, just take some time away. It is in that moment that you will get that clarity. It's in that moment that you will get to reconnect. I'm getting a sense that you're working so very hard and diligently at breaking through that you're kind of your worst enemy at trying to get it to work. So when it's called adventure, I think take yourself on an adventure. Take yourself away from your day-to-day grind and enjoy the space and the quiet and tune in and let your light shine. Tap into that light and let it shine. I'm trying to attach it back to Amy's message.
So that makes a lot of sense, but it's also 4:44. I have to reiterate that, right? That whole time. And Gigi had already said, who's tired today? I am. So you wouldn't even know she had already said that. So you're definitely tapping into the fact that she needs to vacate some of the chaotic energy around her for sure. All right. So that was beautiful. Hopefully you got that, Gigi. Roger says, congratulations, ladies. Love and abundance and positive energy and light to both of you. Woo, woo.
Thank
Now,
you.
Thank you.
Are you still available? Are you calling out? Are you? It's REU's turn. If either of you want to start channeling and receiving a message for REU, see if we get Ari is the name and then you. So it's ARI and you, just in case you wanted to know. And if anybody else wants messages or healing, these ladies are also very powerful healers. And so, all you got to say is me, and they can choose if they can tune in or not.
If Ari is available, I'm getting a little something.
Okay, I'm still
I don't know.
Are you there to say what up? I'm here, say me. You can say boo. It's just like a little thing. You can come into my energy. Yep, you got it. Yes, please. All right.
So when I was tuning in, I was asking if there was a message. Amy receives her message. We all receive messages. It's just a matter of tuning into what they are and how to interpret them. And she receives them. She feels into the being that's coming through, and she's able to relate, oh, so-and-so came through and channeled this for you. I don't, at this point in my journey, am able to pinpoint who's giving you the message, but I can tell you that it is a spiritual being of the higher light, and the messages that come through are always of love and light. So the message for you is about gratitude. The message for you is gratitude is one of the most direct paths to building a state of deep connection. And gratitude has a way of bringing you in tune with the universe. And I'm sensing that maybe there's been somewhat of a disconnect, and you're searching to get that reconnection going. And the message is choose gratitude, express gratitude, and embody gratitude.
I love that. That was a beautiful message. I'm so proud of you, Jacinthe, for channeling that message straight through. It was awesomely beautiful. For sure. So hopefully, Ari, you got that message from Jacinthe, and now Amy has one for you too, I think, maybe.
Yeah, hang on.
And Gigi says, thank you, Jacinthe. Awesome. Nobody else wants to.
So, Ari, they're bringing me to, they're not giving me a message. They're actually bringing me into your solar plexus.
I would ask permission. Ari, do you want a healing? Because Spirit's telling Amy you need one possibly, or at least that's where they're drawing her to, is into your energetic system. So in order for her to do that, she needs permission. And it's okay if you don't want to give that permission. You definitely don't have to. I just want to throw that out there as well. You never feel forced ever. It's just a gift. And there's a delay. So she says, thank you, Jacinthe. Beautiful, loving message. Let's see what she says about the healing from Amy, if she would like to receive it or not. There's a delay, so we'll wait a second. Yes, thank you for the healing.
Okay. So first they're bringing me into your solar plexus, and they're telling me that your solar plexus is gut. It is not yellow like it's supposed to be. It is definitely like a deep, it's got all kinds of colors in it, actually. So what they're doing is they're going in and they're they want me to bring in the light and do my little washing thing that they have me do. So they're bringing down the light in through, down to your solar plexus, into your legs, down in through all that, down into the crystalline grid and the water layers, bringing back up the water layer. And they bring it back up, the water up into your, through your root, your sacral, and up into your solar plexus. And the way I see things is that there's a washing machine, and Brianna laughs at me when I see this, but it's like a washing machine, and it does the swishing back and forth, and it clears it out, and it goes back down into the earth, and then it comes back up, and it does this like 3 or 4 times, and it makes it basically what they do is they do it like a washing machine and clear it. There's definitely darkness in there.
I can feel it right when you said that.
Yeah, there's definitely, so I'm seeing like a tar-like substance in your solar plexus. And to me, that means that there is an entity that is attached to you. And um, they're taking the violet flame, and I picture the violet flame next to you, and they're taking that and they're throwing this tar substance into the violet flame, and it's and as they're doing that, um, I'm hearing like screaming, like a screaming, mm, like a soul coming away, like um, the soul is coming out. It's not like it's not your soul. It's somebody. There's the attachment soul that is coming. It's not a nice soul. Not a nice soul. And it's like telling me, no, I don't want to go. And they're like, no, yeah, see you later. Bye. You're out of here. Um, they're pulling it off of you and they're throwing it into the flame. And it's kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West when she's I'm melting, and she's screaming. That's what I hear in my head. Only she's not melting. She's melting because of the fact that she's being burned. But um, they're also going in and taking the healing salve that they use, and they are like polishing up the solar plexus chakra, and it is now a vibrant yellow. It's also being directed into the correct way. It wasn't spinning fast enough, basically, and that's why you're having that entity was able to get in there. So they're making sure that it's going as fast as it can be, and they're also pumping it up. So not pumping it up, they're widening it, making sure that your solar plexus is wide enough so that you're able to feel and heal. That entity is now gone, and they're putting a layer of protection around your solar plexus and around your body. And they ask you to only let the highest light in. They're also asking for you to put a layer of protection around your home. They're telling you to go to your doorway. You can use, if you don't have sage or Palo Santos, you can use like you can burn like cloves and ginger on the stove like you do at Christmas time, and like they do on Christmas, like boil it and bring it around and do it around your doorway, and just set the intention to allow only the highest light in and don't let any dark energy in. You may want to do this around your windows and doors too. They're saying be careful of who you're letting into your space, because some of them are bringing in the entities, and the entities are attaching to you because you are of the light. So when they show that to me, they show me like a bug zapper, like bugs going in and getting zapped when you're at the highest of light. When you're at your highest, your light is at the highest. So when it's dim, the bugs can go in and attach. But when it's not, when you're of the light and you have the high light, the bugs can't, they go and they get zapped and they fall away. So that's what they want you to do, is to raise your vibration and raise your light. So you now have a bright yellow solar plexus. The entity is gone and it's healed. I thank angels for doing that, and I take my light back from yours. Nice to separate.
I would also put a white light of bubble protection around you, just because you're so sensitive to it right now.
Yes.
If Ari is willing, as Amy was tuning into this healing, I kind of joined my energy to what was happening, and I felt into certain things. So if she's open to what it is that I saw, I can certainly share that with her.
Okay, for her response. I will wait for her response. That was a lot. She said. If anybody else wants any messages or healing, let us know. This is the fun time. Thank you, Amy. I was feeling very sleepy. That's deep healing for sure. Whenever we go sleepy in it, they're doing healing that requires our subconscious levels. Yes, Jacinthe, I am open. Thank you.
Okay, so I was tuning in as Amy was doing the healing. So I was drawn to the solar plexus immediately when she spoke of that. I was drawn there, and I was just led to just send my light. I didn't know why. And then when Amy got into the sensing of there being an entity attachment, the light that was emanating from my hands was so very hot. My hands were on fire, and it's like I could not remove them from that area. It's anyhow. So I was sending light there, and so I was helping in that process. I saw afterwards that through the solar plexus, the backside, I believe that the entity might have attached itself from the backside. So I don't know if you have back problems or anything to that. I don't know. I just had a visual that's how it seeped in. And so I was led to send a lot of healing light to your back, lower back. Afterwards, when Amy was talking about the different herbs that you can certainly use to protect yourself and your home, I was led to see salt. I saw you sprinkling salt at the front of your entrance, outside, front of your door, and actually all around your house. And I saw it as a purification measure, protection and purification. And then I was just drawn to encompass you in bright white light. And at one point I was sending so much light that way that the light began to shine within you and was emanating out. So to that effect, it tells me that obviously, we worked through some of the darkness, we alleviated all of it, and that you were taking back your power and stepping into your true self, and stepping into your light. So it was very similar to what Amy was doing and seeing, but I just wanted to kind of give my tidbit to show that as healers, we do not always see the same things, feel the same things, but the end result is quite often the same. Whatever healing is needed for that client may take a different form, but we are led to work in whatever way that spirit leads us to work, that works with our intuitive gifts so that we can alleviate the pain, the suffering, the whatever it is that that client needs. Yeah, so I just thought that I would put my tidbit in there so that you could get a sense as to how I work and the types of things that I might see. I'm more of a feeler than I'm a seer. I will see things, but I generally get into the emotions of things. Amy is more of a direct, I think, to the point, this is what I see, this is what I know, and this is what I'm hearing. And I'm more again getting into a person's energy and feeling what they're feeling. So it's really quite interesting. I mean, she spoke to the effect that she's a high priestess, and I don't associate with that title. I associate with the title of starseed, and my purpose is I'm a light worker and I'm a light healer, and that's what I do. So yeah, I've stepped into it. I've said it out loud. That's what I do. That's big for me.
Ari says she had a back massage a couple days ago. Thank you both for the healing, guidance, and messages. So I would check to see who's giving you those back massages, Sunshine. I'm just saying, I don't know where you go to get your back massages, but I would definitely check into that space. You never know who you're around, and right now it's sniffing everybody out. So just be careful. Danya says that was powerful, ladies. Awesome. Does anybody else want any healings or messages? Like, you guys, this is the fun stuff. Each different person, you're going to see different things. So speak now or forever hold your peace, right? I'll probably do another one of these in the future too, ladies, where the video is working properly, because I went through that whole entire thing and I figured out what it was. So in the future, I'd like to have another opportunity where you guys come on and we don't have to talk so much about everything else, and you just get to share your gifts, do some healings, do some messages, probably in a couple weeks from now, if you guys are down, not next Sunday, but maybe the one after. And it'll just be straight healings and messages from Amy and Jacinthe, rocking their stuff. Okay.
I'd like to share something, or actually a question, really. I know you've asked if people have additional, if they want additional messages or healings or whatnot. And Amy and I are both open to offer that if people are open to it. But I would like to throw the question out to people. Do they have any questions? I mean, we've talked far and wide about what we've been through, what we've experienced, what we've done. It seems like we've talked a whole lot, but it could be that someone came on here today and they needed to hear something. They needed clarification on something, and maybe we didn't speak or clarify whatever it is that they needed information from or for. And so do you have any questions for us? Whether it's about our awakening, whether it's about the process of the academy, anything really. I'm open to share whatever it is that people might have questions about. I know that when I was going through my spiritual journey, I had many questions, and I often didn't really know where to look for answers. And so I just want to know that this is a learning journey. And as I'm learning things, I'm very open to share what it is that I learn. And I think that's also part of my purpose is teaching others.
You know it is, because we talked about it. That's so awesome. That was a full circle moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. It is.
It is. If you guys knew what we knew, right? Like if you did this, that was a total first.
Because that was part of the questions that she was asking me, like.
And it's really quite funny because I've feared away. I feared away from this. When I was told this, when I was confronted by it, no, it can't be, no. And here I am.
When you think teacher too, you're like, I don't want to be a teacher anymore. Like I've done that enough. Like that's what I'm like traumatized by right now. Like I need to heal that. And it's like, no, it's a different kind of teacher. We'll pick it up later. And then boom, right smack dab in the face today. I love it. So I waited a little bit. I'm not seeing anybody else say anything. Would you guys do a quick healing on me?
Well, that'll take forever. I'm not doing that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
How are we doing that? One at a time? Together? How do we do that? I've never done in collaboration.
Healing on me too. It's okay. Wait, Ari has a question. I was just killing time. Anyways, you guys know that's a private thing. Probably would be a better experience, but
yeah.
It says, hearing you talked about contracts, I wondered if you had awareness you had one. Me personally, I did, because I'm the master. So when things have happened to me, I actually see them come up and I'm like, what the hell? Same thing though, they give me scrolls and I speak these weird languages. And then when I met my twin flame, I had to choose love. And the moment I chose him, we went, and our old contracts burned from red, boom, went right to white, boom. And I'm like, holy shit, what just happened? And then I got to ask Spirit, can you show me the contract? So I do know ins and outs of contracts. I'm very aware of when they're in our energy and things. But usually most healers or spiritual people or anything talk about removing contracts, clearing contracts, and that's the only time they're really brought about. So when I talk about contracts, I talk about healing them and bringing them forward and who they attach to and the meanings of those and the purposes of those and how important they are. Generally speaking, if you have people that tend to like come back around in your life, right? Those can be also contracts. When you feel like these ladies, they were drawn to my healings and they didn't know why, those can be contracts, okay? When we have just like, again, repeat scenarios are kind of like a big thing. So if you have a relationship that keeps repeating, same person, right? Like, I know you, okay, we split up for 5 years, here we are again. Oh shit, why, right? Like maybe there's a contract there, okay? But the thing is that where everybody went awry, and I had gotten upset about this some time ago, is because I am high up there and this was bothering me, is in this time in the world, contracts are more important than they've ever been as a focus for healing and love and understanding and bringing forth. Okay, so what I would recommend to you is ask the universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it, God, it's all the same, to show you your contracts, allow those to be seen, allow those to be known, allow you to walk the path in order to heal them and bring them forth. And you're going to see them maybe not like I do, right? Like, holy shit, this person comes into my life and there's a paper there and a scroll and it's written and da, 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 da. You probably won't see it like that, but you'll have these weird experiences. And the thing is you'll have to surrender to them. Okay, each time they come around, right? They're going to come in weird people they may not expect, or they'll come in job scenarios. You might all of a sudden lose your job. You know what I mean? Like when you talk about contracts, they're all about a life purpose. Okay. And so that's really how to get to know them. Just ask the universe, but you're going to have weird experiences and allow them to come. So I hope that makes sense. If not, you can elaborate. Do you guys have anything you've learned about your contracts that you want to throw in there?
I don't associate with the master title that you have, obviously. So I have never seen my contracts. However, contracts they're your purpose. So when you are introduced to them or confronted with them, you can't help but know that's what you were meant to do. So when mine came through, I didn't associate with them, but they came through with such fierceness and such intensity that I couldn't deny my affiliation to it. And so as much as at those times I might have not been as trusting, I knew that there was something much greater than me leading me to that, making me face it, making me clear it, making me see it, experience it, and clear it if that's what was meant to happen. So no, I have not ever seen my contracts, but when I have been met with a contract, I have known at the bottom of my soul that was in fact a contract.
It was kind of hard to understand. It was kind of hard to understand in the brain, right? It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think had I not had Brianna's coaching, I would not have known. I mean, I could have felt the intensity of it, but I couldn't have put words into it. And she was there as a master to make me understand what it all was and how it was playing out the way it was playing out. And it totally made sense. So I think that the more I get in tune with these things, probably the easier it'll be for me to see them up front, because I don't think that we have one soul contract. I think we have numerous, and I think some people have much greater ones than others, but I do believe that we are all here on earth at this time for change, and we are all here for the greater purpose of moving humanity into a more enlightened world, into the 5D world. And so, a contract might be very simple to one and not as simple to another, but I do think that we are all meant to connect to these contracts and work through them. And we all have them.
That was a golden answer. She nailed it on the head. It's your purpose. It's your layers of purpose within your life. Okay. Sometimes that purpose might be to heal karma. And that's what that contract says. But if you just choose to eliminate it, so that's what people used to do in the old lifetimes, right? Because it wasn't about ascension. And by the way, it took us further than 5D. Remember, we went a little further. So it might be a little bit heavier, right? It might be a little bit more deeper than we even imagine now. But it's absolutely your life purpose. And people talked about clearing them. And that's what they used to do in the old world. You could choose to come back in another lifetime and clear this karma. I have free will. If I don't want to clear this karma this lifetime, my contract, my purpose, I don't have to. And then it's written in my Akasha records when I pass on, because we do have a life review, which is a review of our heart and our accomplishments and everything else, right? What you learned about love. Okay. And then you get to choose. But in this lifetime, we don't have that choice. It truly is ascension or non-ascension. And when I was seeing all these healers and star seeds and light workers eliminating these contracts, my stomach turned and they showed me that this was not okay. Okay. So you kind of want to focus in on, this is my purpose. I want to align with that. That's truly all it's about. You just ask to align with it. And what that really essentially does is just your awareness becomes open to what is occurring within your lifetime. And I love it. That was absolutely beautiful. If you have anything else to say, Amy. Gigi says, if you start veering off your contract, will you get guidance to get back on that path? So I like that question, Gigi. I will tell you, my beyond example, a really good one is my twin flame signed a contract with me, and then he decided to go against it, and he's not on his path. And ever since, it's been an epic battle, right, to get him back on. So things don't go right. It's rare that you can get off your path that much, because most of us truly do listen, unless we're really struggling with something, right? But we all do at times. And so you'll see it. Your life will play out clunky, right? Like one of them mentioned it before too, is when you're not listening to that guidance and you're not aligned. That's the same thing, right? Your world starts to go bam, bam, bam. Everything starts to fall apart. That's also that shadow. Okay, so this is really good stuff. There's your shadow, right? Shit, I just got in a car accident this week. Now I got a ticket. Now I'm going to jail. This girl did this. We just keep fighting and I don't know why. All of these things start to play out when we're not exactly on our path. Okay, but we're always on a path, right? We're always close to that path. Most of us can veer off. My twin flame and I is a harsh example, because he signed a contract with God and me, and it was a big, big, big deal. So I'm sure his has been more hell than most of us would if we get off of that path. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of, if you guys have anything to elaborate with that too.
I think I'm just aligning with what you're saying. Absolutely. You may veer away from it, but when you're veering away from it, you'll notice that everything in your life goes to shit. So you don't have a choice but to realign.
Exactly.
That's my experience.
Power moments, right? That's what they call them. So here's the thing, if we don't think we're in a matrix, if we don't think there's a greater purpose and there's a greater good and there's greater beings than you, try to go against what you feel inside and see what happens to your whole world. Like it is, we are kind of dictated. So what that means is that's our free will. There it goes into free will. Free will is a big thing, right? Wait a minute, I have free will. Which free will are you coming from? Because in your subconscious mind, before you came here, you wrote out those contracts. You set out your path. I need to clear this. I need to clear that. I need to meet this person. I need to do that person. It's for this person. It's for this purpose. It's for this growth. It's for learning this lesson. It's for love. It's for ascension. It's for love. Yeah, I'm still stuck in that. And all of a sudden I just felt that love. And I don't know why. That's really weird. Sorry. But you see what I'm saying? That was my purpose, right? Damn it. But that's what happens. Does that make sense? And it all kind of plays into itself. And so when you think, oh, free will, you don't understand what free will you're coming from. Because I did that. Wait a minute. I don't want to do this. But little did I know that my subconscious self said, yes, you did. This is why it was brought about. This is why it came about. This is for you to take on that lesson. This is for you to have that growth. This is why you put it on your path. And then if you say, nope, it's going to come back around. It always does. It's going to come back around because that's what you designed to happen. Okay. So our free will is very, very, very layered, and it absolutely goes with our contracts and purpose. And when you try to say no, or you get off that path, It's like, wait, you said you had to do this. This is your life purpose, so it's not going to go away. They try to eliminate contracts. You used to be able to do that. Now you're not going to be able to do it so much. You don't eliminate it. You just put it on the back burner. That's really all you do. I'm stubborn. I'm not going to do this. So when he left, I couldn't smoke. I couldn't do nothing. I even had to risk my arm because the whole reason I couldn't smoke was because of him. So you see, and I was like, no, I don't get it, because I get to carry it forward. I'm a good person. I'm still connected. Da, 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 like I was in a good place. You know, like I was fighting with spirit. I was fighting with my path. Free will got in the way of that layer of free will that I thought knew better. So that's another tricky component to that. This is all layered. And if you understand it all, you've got all the power in the world. Right? So good question. Ari says, thank you, ladies. Understanding a purpose makes a lot of sense. It does. That's why I love the way Jacinthe said that, right? Because I didn't even use that. Okay, absolutely. So we're going to start to count this to an end. I was going to anyways. Nobody's asking for any more messages or anything. And it was quite a long time, couple of hours. That's kind of what I expected. That's normal for this kind of a thing. So I just want to thank you guys for coming today. I know that the beginning glitches is what made it really stressful and last longer. So those who kind of make it through watching all of this stuff, you can truly learn a lot in this video. So I want to tell these ladies very much thank you. Thank you for their hard work. If you guys need to find them, you can find them on Facebook. You can find them here. They're always on this channel. So if you comment on here, I'm sure they will know where to find you and be able to contact you. We will do another one of these, but I will just do healings and messages that they can do for you guys in a couple of weeks. Okay. And so you don't have to hear the whole spiel. We can always do Q&As though. I love Q&As. You can't tell. So thank you everybody for joining us, and for those who were troopers and watched this whole entire thing. You've got gifts, right?
Yes, thank you everybody.
Thanks for being here, supporting us, and helping us to celebrate this day. It's a big day. It's a big accomplishment. We're proud.
Definitely.
And we're gonna have to leave Brianna's live healing to our next.
I was kidding. That's a whole journey in itself. It always is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it could be pretty intense, and it really could show people a lot.
That. Like, it really could showcase your guys' skills doing a healing on me, because when you do a healing on a master, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, Jacinthe. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we'll do that another time.
That's a can of worms. That's a whole thing by itself.
Yeah, it takes days to process the healing with me too. Try doing healing on a god. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. These ladies are awesome. I know this was clunky, but you know what? I love them, and they are well worth the watch and the wait and the look-see. So till next time, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Hopefully they're willing to do it. If you guys want messages,
Yes.
all right.
Thank you. Bye, guys.